What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you all doing? I know it's been a while since I put out content. Well, here it is. As I promised in my little community post, I wanted to review something in honor of this weekend. Of course, this movie could have come out at a perfectly good time. You guys enjoyed your Independence Day, and hopefully the weekends following it. Of course, me, it's been an interesting weekend. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But anyway, so let's look at this movie. So I knew that there was going to be a fourth Beverly Hills Cop movie, but I didn't realize it was coming out this year. And when I saw the trailer, I was having mixed feelings, And of course, that was like 2 months ago when I saw when the trailer dropped. But now here it is. It came out, and after seeing this movie, I still have some mixed feelings. I mean, come on, this is how appropriate that this movie comes out 40 years after the original Beverly Hills Cop movie, and almost 30 years after the last Beverly Hills Cop movie, which was back in 92, 93. Which, and of course, Eddie Murphy has gone on record and stated that he did not like doing the third movie because I think it just killed his spirit, which I kind of agree. I mean, I've seen that movie a couple times now. It was on AMC several weeks ago, and yeah, I felt like the third one really, you could tell like this was not the best. And of course, I'm glad 40 years later we finally get a good follow up, an honest to goodness follow up, and something that kind of righted the ship. Also gave us all the smiles, all the feels, and all the I wouldn't say fan service. It's more of like the nods to everything because if you're a very good astute fan of the whole Beverly Hills Cop movies or anything in general, or you would pick up on things because there was a lot of good Easter eggs, or like be like, wait a minute, didn't I see that before, kind of thing. But yeah, that's for the plot. I kind of liked it, so I'm gonna explain it in layman's terms because it's still kind of fresh in my mind, but it's hard to describe. So what happens is it's present day Detroit, or should I say present day LA. We find out that, okay, so Axel has a daughter. She's like in her early 30s. She's also a lawyer. And of course, she's been tasked to handling this client. But somehow things get more complicated because Billy, Judge Reinhold, is also involved in this case, and we find out that he quit the force, started his own private investigative business, and then eventually he got caught. So then essentially the majority of this movie is just find out where Billy is, what's going on with this case, and who killed this cop that involves everything in this case. And man, things get intense. I feel like there's some predictable things that you could see coming from a mile away when it came to like some of the character building and like plot devices. You could see what's going to happen eventually. It's like you're just waiting for the inevitable kind of thing. But I will say it was definitely entertaining. I mean, there was so many moments that had me laughing. There was moments that had me going like, what the fuck? like, and of course, obvious moments of just bringing back things for fan service, including Surge from the first movie. If you guys remember that character, he was played by Bronson Pinchot from Perfect Strangers. Don't be ridiculous. If anybody remembers that show, man, it was just great to see him back. My goodness, seeing Paul Reiser reprise his role as Jeffrey, who is now promoted himself to no chief or police captain, where he is now since the previous captain, which of course kind of mimics real life. That actor passed away in 2016. May he rest in peace. And then, of course, the one character that I'm a little shocked and surprised that they didn't mention at all was Bogomil. Now, here's the thing: Ronnie Cox is still alive, I believe, and I remember seeing him like a few years ago at a horror convention, and I'm like, he still looks in great shape. I mean, what the fuck? Would they acknowledge him at all? Not even his daughter? What the hell happened? It's I was a little miffed by that, but I was glad to see Taggart back, and of course man, and of course John Ashton. Like I got a chance to see him some time ago. He was still in good shape, and here he still looks pretty good. And of course, definitely everything was you could sit and tell this is the role he was definitely bred. Between him, Rosewood, and seeing Axel, the three musketeers, I call them, they really worked. Then add in some new blood outside of his daughter. You got this guy in Detective Abbott, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who, man, who completely unrecognizable. The first time, I'm like, oh, okay, it's him. But why do you have to put on this phony accent? I was like, I never understood that. But it really worked. I loved that there was a lot of great chase scenes. There was a couple great shootouts. The final act, I think, was like good in the way of like, okay, we know who the real culprit is. Okay, how are we gonna put this villain in the bed? And of course, how's the legacy of Axel Foley gonna end on a good note? And I felt like it kind of did, but at the same time paid homage to an iconic moment to in the first movie. When with the not the banana in the tailpipe kind of thing. It's more of the he surprises them in the car. It's kind of funny. I really love that scene. I just want to keep going back and watching that. I was like, all right, let's get out of Porterhouse kind of thing. Come on, trust me. I love that line. That's the perfect embodiment and the perfect tagline that just embodies that character. And Eddie Murphy just took it and nailed it out of the park. And I felt like Eddie Murphy never left this role, and he missed this role so much after all these years. And I feel like this was a good send off or a really good time to celebrate 40 years of Beverly Hills Cop. I felt like they did a good job. Of course, obviously, no Paramount involved. This is just Netflix involved and just Bruckheimer, no Don Simpson. Obviously, he passed away in between the second and third movies or something like that, or some time ago. But you get my point. But again, like when Bruckheimer announced that he wanted to do the fourth movie, you knew he wanted to bring it because fans were eager to wait it. And I want to thank Jerry Bruckheimer for being able to bring something back that we all fell in love with years ago. And I think they did a good job. All right, Netflix be damned. Of course, why the hell not? I really enjoyed it. And with that in mind, I'm going to give Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I was jumping back and forth between 7.5 and 8. I think a 7.5 is good. Maybe eventually will grow on me. Maybe a repeat viewing. And who knows? I felt like this definitely kind of washed the bad taste of the third movie out. A lot of people obviously don't want to talk about that. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, Eddie Murphy went on record and he said this, just he hated it, kind of killed his passion for the whole franchise in general, and that's why it took this long for them to finally come up with a script, come up with a story that would definitely play to everybody's strengths, and Eddie Murphy definitely delivered. All right, and that's all I gotta say. If you've not seen this already, it's available on Netflix. It's streaming now. Go give it a watch. I definitely say if you're a fan of the Beverly Hills Cop movies, if you like Eddie Murphy, definitely give it a watch. It's all there. Perfect formula, right? That does for today. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting content.